Hello everybody, it's Shady here, and today I'm going to probably do my most controversial video of all time. I'm going to say what needs to be said. Cloud gaming is never going to be the future, okay? Okay, so obviously, like I just said, this is Shady here. Obviously, you know, I'm a hobbyist YouTuber. I do a lot of collection videos, discussion videos, gameplay, everything you want. And if you're interested, like, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But now to the point. So, obviously, the reason why I want to talk about cloud gaming is because, obviously, recently has come out that now Ubisoft are doing their own separate cloud gaming service. Because obviously, you can use their stuff through Amazon Luna, and yeah, they're basically still using Amazon's servers, but are going to be doing it separately through Ubisoft Connect. Right now it's in kind of open beta. You could basically play, I think it's about an hour or so of Avatar, whatever, of Pandora, the game, on the servers through just the PC launcher of Ubisoft Connect. And yeah, it just kind of just makes me want to talk about this, because obviously there's a lot of companies now that are investing into the whole cloud gaming ecosystem, or they're looking at it as this new exciting technology, and I don't see it being the new big thing. Obviously, you know, we have Microsoft. They've put a lot of investment into cloud gaming. You know, they now advertise no console required. Like I said, you got Amazon doing it. You got Ubisoft doing their own separate thing. You got GeForce Now. Obviously, we had Stadia, which was Google's attempt, which kind of failed. Back in the day, we had OnLive as well. If you guys remember that, was one of the first ones back in like 2009. Obviously, there's PlayStation Now as well, and yeah, there's just, I don't ever see there being this shift towards it like a lot of these people think. Obviously, first of all, why are these companies doing this? I think what it is, a lot of the companies doing it, Amazon, for example, let's say, and Microsoft, they have these large data centers, so it's just like easy for them just to chuck games on there and, have it available for people. I think it mitigates a lot of the cost for having to, or as opposed to having to develop a console. Obviously, Microsoft still has a console for now. But yeah, instead of having to invest R&D and blah, 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 all these billions in making a console, it's just like, we have these centers already, we may as well use them for gaming. And obviously the whole selling point is meant to be, no downloads or uploads required, straight, easy to use. But obviously, I think the big issue is most gamers like to own shit, and hardware I don't think is a problem. Because I think they're selling to an audience that I don't think really exists. At most, I see cloud gaming as like an additive thing. And I think if people are interested in gaming, they don't mind forking out the money. And I think if you're a budget gamer, you'll just play the last generation of consoles, or you could buy like a cheap device, you can just buy it. Like, if you really want to game on a budget, you can just buy an Xbox Series S. You can buy a second-hand one. You can get them as cheap as like 100 quid. You can buy a PS5 all digital. There's these options, cheaper options available. You can always buy yourself a gaming laptop or Steam Deck. Steam Deck's like $350, aren't they, or something? Yeah, you got the Switch Lite. There's options there for people, and then this whole cloud thing, it reminds me of if you guys remember back in like 2010, there was this big push for like mobile gaming. All these gaming companies were going on about how that's the future, because they just saw the dollar signs, because they saw that they could just monetize these cheap games and make a load of money or whatever. But it wasn't the death of gaming or the future. It was a different market, I think. And yeah, I think there is a place for cloud gaming. in the gaming space, but I just don't see it being the main thing. Like, I really think I think Microsoft in particular, they see it as like the big new thing, and I think that's why they put so much into xCloud and all these acquisitions and stuff, because they think they're it's the future for them, and it's going to be eventually what's going to take over the console space. But I just don't see it. Obviously, a lot of gamers, obviously not on the PC side, but the console side, they're not happy about going all digital. You think they're going to be happy about not owning anything? I doubt it. And I think that's the main issue, is the fact that you don't actually have a copy of the game, and the internet is just required. That's always going to be the big issue, and why it's never going to be the big thing. And obviously, then you got the whole latency, that you're never going to remove that, and like competitive games like Call of Duty, for example, that's just not going to work on a streaming service. Obviously, Ubisoft have the right to stream Call of Duty, so wait and see when that becomes available. And that's probably why they're making this push towards it, I think. Or they're creating their own separate thing, because they'll have Call of Duty, I guess. But yeah, then there's also, like, the fact that a lot of these are tied to subscription services as well. Like, it's very weird. Like, obviously, with Xbox, it's just you get a curated list of Game Pass games, not even the full library, available on the cloud. With Amazon, you have some games available if you have a Prime membership, and then you get a separate Luna subscription, and then if you want to play a Ubisoft game, you have to have Ubisoft Premium Plus, whatever it's called. And it's like, to get the full experience of Luna, you have to have like 3 separate subscriptions. It's like so stupid. I think Stadia had the right idea, where you can buy games and stream them, and then if you want to have like 4K quality, you pay for it. But obviously that still didn't even work. And yeah, if if what I think was the best model, or what was the best model didn't work, what chance do the rest of them have? I really don't think it's the fact that Stadia was early that it failed. I just think there's just no interest in it, and I think, like I was saying, they're trying to address a market that doesn't exist, because I think if you're a gamer, that's just what you do. Hardware's not an issue. By the way, I have actually tried a lot of these cloud services. I tried Stadia back in the day. Had a good experience with it. Same with Game Pass, xCloud, PlayStation Now. Even tried Luna as well. They're all functional and they work, but the quality's just not as good. Like on Google Stadia, I played Final Fantasy 15 for a couple hours. I had a pretty good experience for the most part, but then the quality just dipped, and it just became all pixelated, and that's always going to be an issue. It's going to be inconsistent, and I don't think downloading a game is an issue, personally. And for most people, because nowadays you can just pre-download a game a day or 2 before, sometimes up to a week before they let you pre-download a game. And obviously, patches are annoying, but we're used to it at this point. So yeah, I just don't, personally, I think I've made my point now, really, haven't I? Basically, cloud gaming is bad. Not bad, but yeah, I just don't think there's a future in it, really. But like I said, we'll wait and see. I think at best it's just a thing, like, let's say you're traveling somewhere, but you still want a game, like, let's say you have to be up in a hotel for a few days or something, you're going to some kind of conference or something for work, or you're just, you're on holiday, you want to play some games. you can stream on your phone or whatever, and get a bit of an experience. Yeah, or if you're someone who, you know, I think it's good for like trying a game out before buying, maybe, or something like that. And I think if it's gonna work, you have to. They have to still allow you to have a version of the game available, like, you know, like Microsoft, for example, they should let you buy, like, let's say if you buy, I don't know, let's say a Halo game, you have the option to stream it as well as download it, or if you buy a game on Steam or something, you have the option to do it. I think the GeForce Now model is probably the best, where it's like you pay a fee to play games you already own. That's probably the best model, I think, you know, where it's just like, you know, here's your Steam library. Obviously better if every game in your library is available, but it doesn't quite work like that. But yeah, but anyway, I think I've kind of made my point anyway. But yeah, I'd like to hear any of your guys' thoughts in the comments if you're interested or not. You know, if you're pro cloud gaming, I'd like to hear what you have to say. I'm really interested. You know, if you're against it, I'd love to hear why. And yeah, but anyway, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one where we'll talk about something else.